And welcome back to Football-Oranje, home of Dutch football. A match preview of Germany against the Netherlands. Only a couple of days after we did a live stream after the Hungary game, a 1-1 draw, disappointing result, disappointing performance. So, Mike, we're obviously going to talk about how the Netherlands do better this time.
Yeah, I think the game against Hungary was just frustrating because when you have that much possession, you can't say that you really played badly, but it's the fact that what you do with the ball wasn't good enough. And then defensively, they were quite open when Hungary countered. So there is a lot of stuff that they need to improve on to even get close to Germany in that level. So it's going to be interesting to see because where Germany are strong and they've done well so far in this group, it isn't the Germany of old. This is a new Germany that's got quite a lot of new players in it. So it's going to be interesting to see what this Netherlands side, who also is sort of transitioning into the new squad, can do against one of the bigger powers. Because this is what the Nations League's about. It's meant to be pitting the big sides against each other. You got Belgium playing France, and games like that. Whereas Netherlands, they've got Bosnia and Hungary, are two teams that you think they should be beating. Obviously didn't work out against Hungary, but this Germany one is the big test. Going away to Germany, it is a local rivalry. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get a better performance out, the attackers especially.
Yeah, ultimately we want to see the Netherlands playing really well in preparation for the next big tournaments coming up within the knockout rounds of the Nations League. But at the moment, we're looking at a second place finish if we can get enough points. It shouldn't be too difficult to do, but I think overtaking Germany becomes impossible if we don't really beat them away in this game. Last time we played them, it was a 2-2 draw. And in the last international break, we saw a lot of players play both of the games and they ended up looking quite tired. And this is only a few days after the last one. So could we see a repeat of that, do you think, with fitness? Or do you think now that we're a bit more into the season, we won't see that? Because I don't think Kim's going to make many changes to his starting 11 here, other than a couple of obvious ones, which we'll get onto.
Yeah, I think the players should be fitter. And then you look at some of the key players like Cody Gakpo. He doesn't play week in, week out for Liverpool. So there's no reason why he should be burnt out already when, he's really just been making half an hour appearances from the bench, or he started the last game. So he should still be pretty fresh. And you think that playing week in, week out, if you're Reinders, Ravenberg, is a lot better than last season where Reinders in and out the AC Milan side. Ravenberg was on the bench for Liverpool, so he should be better now than what they were in the past. So I don't think it's a big worry for me going into this game that they're not going to be fit enough. The main thing for me is that I don't think the bench is that strong, so any changes that Koeman does make might weaken the side. The only one I can see, or one that's definitely going to happen, is we're going to see Van Dijk come out because he's already left the training camp after his red card. I think Jorel Hato coming at left back, Van de Ven moves centrally. And then the only other question mark for me is the midfield and right wing. If Quentin Timber didn't impress Koeman that much, will he switch him out for Mats Wiefer? And then on the right-hand side, is he going to keep playing Xavi Simons after that performance? Will we see possibly Donyell Malen come in, or, as everybody wants, Jeremy Frimpong starting at right wing? I doubt it, but it's what we all want to see.
Yeah, in terms of what you've said there, it's only natural that Harter comes in at left back. Adoit Martin can come in and play the same way that Koeman wants to with this. It becomes a three, doesn't it? With the two centre backs and one of the full backs making a three in defence that Dumfries can really push on. And when you're playing Dumfries, you're going to limit him if you're putting him in the back three. He's also not quite as strong defensively there. You want him pushing up, and we've shown his worth yet again by scoring a goal by being able to push up and set up nearly another one as well with his runs. So, yeah, that is an obvious one with Harto. Midfield, it will be nice to see Mats Wiefer, or at least get some minutes to say if we're holding on to a result at that point, an hour in. Does he come in and solidify midfield? He hasn't had the best start at Brighton, which is a bit of a shame. Like we saw at Feyenoord, he was having a rapid rise to that level of football, and we were positive that he could make that transition. So far, not so much. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he can come in and deserves to come in ahead of Timber. I think Timber should get another chance. But like I said, if he come off the bench, might be all right. Yeah, I want to see Frimpong, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think now that Simons has shown that he can't do so well against a low block, which we knew already, I think this game against Germany, it's not going to be like that. So Koeman will keep him in for that reason, knowing he'll probably do well, and maybe he'll get a goal assist or play quite well, and then he'll play in the next game when it's again against a low block and we're having the same frustrations. Well, whereas we want to see a bit more flexibility with who plays, depending on the opposition, really, rather than it always being about that best 11 available. I think some tactical tweaks would be good, and Frimpong here with his pace would be very welcome.
Yeah, I think the crazy thing for me is that before the Euros, there's a couple of friendlies that Frimpong came in and did really well, and ever since then he's barely played.
Yeah,
he showed it in those two games. What an asset he can be at right wing, scoring goals, getting assists, and then coming to play at the Euros, and then since then he's just been mainly on the bench as well. So it's crazy to think that you got somebody that's got that much speed, power, that can really hit teams on the counter and actually dribble past players, and he's just not getting used. He must be himself pretty frustrated with what's happening. But Koeman just seems so determined to keep Dumfries at right back, rightly so, but then keep Xavi Simons in the side no matter what. Whereas I think that if he's not playing well, he needs to come out. He needs to find a position that Xavi Simons is going to be better in, week out. Maybe it would be better moving him centrally at times, maybe coming off the bench to be half an hour at the 10 position. Maybe trying him out at left wing if it's not working on the right. Just a bit more flexibility with him, because against Bosnia he did absolutely nothing. Not Bosnia, Hungary, he did absolutely nothing. And it was just basically having, with him and Xerxes, it's like having 9 players on the pitch at times because they just weren't getting involved. So, yeah, you've got to wonder what's going on behind the scenes where Koeman just will not play Frimpong. We all want to see it, but he's never going to answer that. So, yeah, we just need to hope that one day he does give us what we want, and then Frimpong impresses and then doesn't get taken out of the team, because he get impressed before the Euros and then he's straight out of the team and I've not seen him since.
By the way, this is a great opportunity to just plug the comment section. Do let us know what you're thinking about this team selection here and what Koeman must do, what you would do if you were the head coach, because we all know that Koeman doesn't really listen to his assistant coaches, or he's not particularly so much, as we discussed in the live stream against Hungary, where even Wim Jonk coming in, you can see an instant impact from him on anything really, any kind of difference. And it's always exciting when you get a new coach into that backroom team, because you think, oh, what can they bring? What can they bring here? And what can they tweak? And just, I didn't notice any difference. If anything, it got worse. Robbie is also someone that's going to come in here. Koeman confirmed that before the 2 games. And this international break, he will bring something totally different to Xerxes and hopefully a positive performance. He did last time against Germany. Maybe we'll see the same thing.
Yeah. The only worry I have about Robbie, he's going to put in a shift. He's going to run. He's going to put the...
Are you going to mention about his finishing?
Yeah. I guess the only thing you can mention about Robbie is that you can do... I've said it before. I said it a couple of years ago. Robbie has everything to be one of the best strikers in the world, but he can't finish. That the main thing he needs is a striker. He doesn't have. When he gets through on goal, easy tap-ins that you think, oh, he's going to make this, misses it every single time.
But last season he was kind of doing that, but he was much better. I mean, what was his scoring rate? It was getting at least 20, wasn't he, last season?
Yeah, I was about to say last season he improved it considerably, but then this season again he seems to have reverted back to missing chance after chance after chance for Ajax. He came off the bench against Hungary, had a really good headed chance, put it wide. He's got to improve that, and all the analysts that watch him say it's something that can be coached. But so far, we're not seeing it, except for last season. So, yeah, if he can then add that to his game, then he's definitely going to be the starting striker for the Netherlands for years to come. Yeah. But he needs to do it. He needs to click on. He needs to finish. For someone that's so powerful, he always seems to have such a weak shot. That's what I've always noticed about him. Like, you think he'd have some power to absolutely blast the ball, but he just doesn't seem to have it. So, yeah. I hope this is the game that comes good for him, and that he gets in behind Germany a couple of times and finishes it. But yeah, I said it in the preview podcast for the Hungary game that I'm worried about goals with his Netherlands side. Like, against Hungary again, we struggled in front of goal. You're relying on Dumfries scoring again, if Gakpo doesn't score, who does? And it's the same in this game. If Gakpo's not going to score or Reinders isn't going to finish, then who's going to score the goals? And it needs to be Robbie, but he needs to show some killer instinct in front of goal.
I think we need to talk about Germany a little bit, and this is a Germany preview, and we've got the squad actually here. Please excuse the Wikipedia link, but of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll now be able to see it on the screen with the players that Germany have available. You touched upon it, I think, in the Hungary post-match, Mike, that you said there weren't many like superstars here, players that you would recognise, and you're used to seeing players play for Bayern Munich when it comes to the Germany national team. And a lot of players, I remarked to you just before we came on live on this, they don't play abroad, and is that because they've not been good enough in the Bundesliga to earn a move abroad? I know there are some players here that have been abroad and come back. Talk to us about this side, and I know this is quite easy for us to say here and go, oh, it's not quite as strong. And given the way that they played against Hungary when it was a 1-1 draw, we all predicted a win, and quite a comfortable one, really. That this is obviously a big step up from that, but we're not expecting one of the best teams in the world here to suddenly take the Netherlands apart.
No, it's the new Germany. Nagelsmann's come in. He's trying to bring some fresh blood in. You've got quite a lot of players retired. He's not got Toni Kroos anymore. He's not got Gundogan. He's had quite a few players drop out injured. Like Kai Havertz would be in there. Musiala would be in there. So that's 2 world-class attackers already out. We're used to seeing Füllkrug as well. He's not there. Says he's not really playing for West Ham at the moment. Even in goal, you're used to seeing Ter Stegen or Neuer being their goalkeepers, but neither of them are there. Neuer's retired now. So, you've got
3 goalkeepers, didn't they? They were uncapped before this international break.
And even Janis Blažević, we know used to play for Heracles. He's in there. So
it's decent.
He's decent, but is he world class? Probably not. But
no.
A lot of players here, you do play in Germany. They are for the clubs that are coming through in Germany. Like Stuttgart are one of the best clubs in Germany now. You can see quite a lot of their players have been called up. And some players that, if you don't watch the Bundesliga week in, week out, you've probably never heard of, like Tim Kleindienst, who played most of his career in Heidenheim.
As you can see, I had to have a little look on his Wikipedia page, just why it's purple, because I hadn't really heard of him before.
He seems to be a late bloomer he scored 3 goals in 6 games for Gladbach this season. Seems to have earned a call up from that. And he started against Bosnia. So you've got a lot of players in there that I can put my hands up and say that I've never seen play. Like Leurling, can tell you what he plays like. Anton of Dortmund. And then you've got players like Schade, Andrik, who are decent, but they're not the Germany that we know. They've also been hit by, I think, Furyk's out, so he got injured against Bosnia, so he's going to be out. Then Pavlovic is a doubt as well. He was injured against Bosnia, so he might come back for this one. But they still have really good players in defence. Rudiger, Tah, Kimmich, the captain, are all still really good players. And then the one that hurt us, and hurts quite a lot of teams when Germany plays, is Wirtz. So you can't, if a team's got Wirtz in the starting 11, you can't really count them out. So I think he's the one that Netherlands need to look at. And the worrying thing for me is that Hungary got space on the counter and around the box took a few shots, and that's what Florian Wirtz would love. So if we don't shut that down, then he could have a field day against our defence.
And that was my next question, actually. What threats do you see from this Germany side? And there's certainly one. Do you see him being a threat out wide and testing that space in behind Dumfries, a relatively inexperienced Hato at fullback? Our wingers like to push it quite high as well and not necessarily support the fullback. So, what do you see from that? I mean, see about Robin Hogan's been called up there. He used to play in the Eredivisie as well. Again, not players that I'd worry about at this stage, because we have got some excellent defenders. Or do you see the threat coming more centrally?
I think the two that I see the threat coming from are Wirtz and Undav, because they're going to play. Undav's kind of behind the striker, so he's going to play in that 10 position, and Wirtz is going to be out wide left. So if Dumfries pushes forward, that gives space for Wirtz, and Undav's going to sort of play in that position where he's sort of hoping that one of the Netherlands midfielders will pick him up. So if it's going to be Timber or if it's going to be Ravenberg, one of them's going to have to sit there and try and stop him from picking up the ball and making sure there's space between our midfield and defence. So yeah, I think those are the two main ones I look at. Defensively, you've got, it's going to be Ta and Rudiger in the middle, Kimmich on the right, and it's going to be Middlestat on the left. Midfield of Gross, I don't know who's going to play next time because I think that it was Furyk, and if he's out, it might be Andrić or Pavlovic if he's fit. Then Undav at 10, Bert's out wide with Gnabry, and then Kleindienst through the middle. So yeah, I think it's, with some of the players, it's a bit of an unknown. I don't know what Kleindienst is really good at. I don't know if he's a big, tall striker, like a big, powerful one like Fulkrug, or he's more technical. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he plays like. But yeah, I think it's Wirtz and Undav are the ones that Netherlands really need to shut down, because any space for them and they'll punish you.
All right. Well, Mike, as is tradition, prediction for the game, please. Germany against the Netherlands in the Nations League. What do you think?
I'm going to go 1-1.
Another draw. I think we're going to lose this time. I don't know how we're going to really improve from that Hungary game, but I know that we've got it in us. We know we've scored plenty of goals against Bosnia. We had a promising performance at home against Germany, but that's it. I think away it's proving more difficult for us, but I don't think it's going to be embarrassing. But I am going to go for a 2-1 Germany win. 2-1's like a famous scoreline there for, it's very typical, but I can see that happening here. I don't know if we've got enough this time. I'm sure if Abdul could have made this one, he would have said a Netherlands win. But to really balance us out here, one of each.
But I think one thing I would say is that against Germany the first time round, it was De Ligt's errors that cost them. And then against Hungary, it was Van Dijk, I think, was really poor for the goal. So neither of them are going to play in this game. So as I said in the post-Hungary one, I'm intrigued to see what a Van Dijk-less Netherlands defence looks like, and whether De Vrij and Van de Ven can be a strong partnership. Because if they shut down Germany and there's no mistakes, no errors, no getting behind, then Koeman has a big choice.
You could have a great point there.
Yeah, there's a big choice to make.
Yeah, De Vrij's always steady. And Van de Ven's always impressed, in my view, playing really well defensively for the Netherlands.
Yeah. So if you look at games where Netherlands don't defend well, usually has one of De Ligt or Van Dijk in there. And I'll admit, Van Dijk's, for me, when he plays for Liverpool, best centre-back in the world. But there's something about him when he puts on that Netherlands shirt, it's not right. And I don't think I've ever really been impressed with him to say that, that game, Van Dijk was 10 out of 10, amazing for Netherlands. So I'm intrigued to see what a Van de Ven, De Vrij partnership looks like, because it could be one that takes over in the future. If, say, Van Dijk does decide after World Cup to say, nah, that's me, I'm done. Van de Ven could be the starting centre-back for years to come. Yeah,
what a rise from Mickey Van de Ven. For his early days, having an interview on this channel. Playing with Essien Volendam. He's been so classy. I think lots of Spurs fans have been really, really pleased with him. And we just whether he carries the ball as well and offers extra threat from defence. I know he doesn't really shut too much for Netherlands, but yeah, being able to play at centre back is a brilliant opportunity for him. Left-footed as well, next to De Vrij, who's that experienced head. I think that could be magic. But I'm going to stick by the 2-1 prediction. Germany have got tools still to hurt, especially the middle of the pitch. Well, we, of course, don't have that sitting midfield at the moment. We don't have De Jong, we don't have Schouten. So it's going to be up to maybe Wiever to come in. And if not, we could be seeing a really busy Timber, for example, having to do a lot of work. So let's see. But Mike, good to chat. And I think this spurs off a nice conversation in the comments. So let us know what you're thinking ahead of this one. It's been good to see people's thoughts in the Hungary post-match stream, also the preview. So yeah, keep it all coming. And we'll see you again in the post-match stream after the Germany match. Up Holland Hub.